Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Corin, also known as the Kitten Choreographer, and I'm a teen with a passion for animal rescue and, in particular, kitten rescue. So today we are going to just do a video idea I thought of, but I thought that might be good to share. And this video is kind of specifically for people that are viewers on my channel but that don't necessarily foster kittens. And I know that I do have a lot of people on my channel that don't foster kittens themselves, but that just love kittens or like some of my other content and just want to, you know, enjoy. And thanks for being here, even if you aren't a kitten foster yourself. But I thought I would share some things that I get from people that don't foster kittens a lot. And this is things that you shouldn't say to foster parents. And this is specifically geared toward kitten foster parents, but all of these things pretty much apply to dog foster parents too. And just animal rescuers in general. I'm not saying it does apply to every animal rescuer across the board, but I think it applies to most people. So if you ever see an animal rescuer, you shouldn't say any of these things to them. And also, one other disclaimer I want to make is that if you have happened to have said something like this or something similar to this to me before, I'm not saying you're a terrible person. I want to say most of these things come from people with good hearts. They, you know, are trying to commend me for the great work that I do, or they're just coming from a place of loving animals or trying to help me, but in the end, these things don't help me at all. And you know, there's some that don't come from a place of trying to help me, but a lot of them do come from a good place. I'm just saying that it doesn't translate from, you know, your good place to what I hear. So let's get right into the video. Number one, my cat had kittens, or anything related to mentioning that your personal cat had kittens. This irks me so much because the entire thing about what I do is trying to prevent kitten suffering. And by bringing more animals into the world, whether purposefully or accidentally, you are condemning some kittens somewhere to suffer. Even if the kittens your cat has grow up to be happy and healthy and go to good homes, because several people got kittens from you, they no longer have room to help kittens in shelters, and those kittens die because there's no room for them and they have to be euthanized. So there is a huge pet overpopulation crisis, and we do not need any more kittens. I love them, but I don't want any more of them. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. They think that because I like kittens and I foster kittens that I want to hear about their kittens that their cat had. And that is just not the case. If you have foster kittens or a pregnant foster that had kittens, yes, I want to hear all about it. I love hearing about your fosters and the kittens that you're helping, but you're not really helping any kittens if your personal cat had kittens. And yes, I get it's an accident sometimes, but I still don't want to hear about it. A lot of people say that fixing is expensive, and while it definitely can be if you go to a normal vet, I know there are lots of programs across the country that do try and give you low-cost spay and neuter. Your local shelter should have a program in place where you can get animals fixed for less than $100, which I get that can be a good chunk of change for some people, but it is so worth it to get your pets fixed to prevent more animal suffering. So my cat had kittens. I don't want to hear it. Okay, number two is trying to insist that I help you with specific medical needs for your cats. Here's the thing. There are people out there that you can pay to talk to about your cat's medical issues. There are also vets that you pay to talk to about your cat's medical issues. I'm not a person that can help you with your specific cat's medical issues. I am happy to answer general questions for new foster parents. I'm happy for you to throw ideas out there for potential topics I could cover. But I can't help you with your specific cat's diarrhea issues because I don't know the entire situation. There's no way you can tell me in a couple messages all about your cat and their medical history and all their symptoms, so I couldn't properly give you an answer for the problem. Also, I'm not a vet. I'm a teenager who's just had a couple years of experience with kittens, so there's a chance I would have no idea what you're talking about. And also, I don't have time to just go around answering DMs and answering really specific comments about what to do about this, what to do about that. If you are concerned about your cat, go to a vet. And if you can't afford a vet, post on Facebook for that. There's a group on Facebook where you can post like ask a vet and a vet will answer. I'm sorry, but I don't have the time or want to answer specific medical questions about your cats. I just can't. One, I'm not qualified. Two, I don't have time. Again, general questions are fine. I'm happy to answer pretty general questions, but if your cat has a specific problem, I cannot help you with that. I cannot diagnose your cat. I cannot tell you how to treat your cat. I just can't. I can't do that. So number three is probably the first one that comes from a place place of good heart, and this is unsolicited advice. Here's the thing, again, I just don't need advice from people on the internet, strangers that don't know my full situation. You know, I hear about this a lot. You know, I post that a kitten has a problem, and you know, there are comments saying, oh, you should do this and this and this, or your kitten will die. No, I don't need your advice on this situation. If I know you in real life, or if I've talked to you for a long time on the internet, yes, you can reach out and potentially give some suggestions in a kind and gentle manner. But if I don't know you, I don't need you sending me DMs or flooding my comment section with advice that you think is helpful, which is normally not helpful, because same thing with I don't know the full situation about your pets, you don't know the full situation about my animals. So just know that for me personally, I am always in contact with rescues or vets or people way more experienced than me that know how to help me treat my pets. So I don't need advice from strangers on the internet who know nothing really about my situation, because in the end, I don't share too much online in the grand scheme of things. I may post, yeah, my kitten is sick, we're doing some tests, but you can't just tell me what's wrong with my kitten from that, you know? I get most of the time people are trying to be helpful, but it doesn't really come across that way, because sometimes these people make me feel stupid because they talk to me down thinking that I don't know what I'm talking about. And yes, if I don't know what I'm talking about on a situation, I will consult a vet or someone at my rescue that knows more than me. I'm never going to go all out on my own and just try and take care of my kittens by myself. I'm always in contact with people that know more than me. Don't worry about that. So unsolicited advice, I don't need it, sorry. So number 4 is one that irks me a lot, and I see it a lot across every rescuer out there. When referring to my foster kittens, you should just keep them. And again, it comes from people with a good heart. You know, they see that the kittens are happy with me, and so they think that the kittens should stay with me forever. But that's not the case at all. I foster kittens, and by fostering kittens, you are signing up to not keep the kittens forever, you know? The goal of fostering is to not keep them forever. The goal of fostering is to be a revolving door of kittens. You take in kittens, you know, hang out with them and help them until they're ready to go to a forever home, and then you send them to that forever home. I don't want to keep my kittens. The main reason is if I kept any more of my foster kittens, I would have to stop fostering, and that is not what I want to do, because I have the ability to foster. So if I were to stop fostering just because I kept a foster, when that foster could go to a good forever home, I'm not helping kittens. And then kittens that could potentially be with me are hurting and dying just because, you know, I selfishly kept a kitten. You know, my goal is not to keep them. If you go out to adopt a kitten, great. That means you're going to be its forever home. But when you go to foster kittens, it's not good for you to keep very many of your kittens, because then you'll have to stop fostering. It's just not a helpful thing to say. By saying you should just keep them, you're kind of telling me to stop fostering. And you may not realize that, but it kind of is what you're telling me. Because if you're not telling me to stop fostering, you're telling me to become a hoarder because I keep too many of my foster kittens and then just bringing more kittens in. So yeah, it's not a helpful thing to say, and it's one that really annoys me, because I've seen so many rescuers get comments on TikTok and Instagram, you know, a lot of the popular people, and there's so many, you should just keep him, or aw, he's a special one, you love him so much. But like, yeah, you're supposed to love your foster kittens. You know, we're not cold-hearted people, we do love our foster kittens. So yeah, if we didn't love them, that would kind of be a problem. But just because we love them doesn't mean we have to keep them. Someone else can love them too, and we're not being mean by giving our kittens away. We're not throwing them on the streets. I've said this a lot. We're giving them to an amazing forever home with someone that's going to love them for their entire life. I am not at a place where I could keep any more of my foster kittens because I could not give them the love and attention they need for their entire life. The amount of love and attention I give them while they're in foster care is perfect, but it's not a sustainable amount of love and attention to give to a kitten for their entire life. I have so many cats that I can't dedicate enough time and love to all of the kittens if I were to keep all of them. It's a good amount for foster care, but we need to send them somewhere else so that someone can really give them all the love and attention they deserve. So please, please don't tell me you should just keep them. It's not helpful, and I just groan inside whenever someone tells me that. So the last one is probably the one I get most often. I feel like I get told this by almost every adopter, and every time I'm just like, yeah? And this is 5, something along the lines of, I could never do that, I'd love them too much. And yikes, this one is not helpful, because are you saying that I don't love them enough? You know, like I don't love them enough? because if I loved them enough, I would keep them, right? Yeah, so that's an awkward thing that you're implying if you're implying that I don't love my kittens, because that is not the case. I love my kittens so much, but I love them enough to let them go so that I can love more kittens. That's kind of my thing. I don't keep kittens. I love them enough to give them to someone else that's gonna love them even more, and then I get more kittens to love. So also by saying I could never do that, you are closing a door for you. You could be a great foster parent, I'm sure of it. And literally everyone has the capacity to foster in their heart. Yeah, there are other factors that might mean that you can't foster, you know, your living situation, allergies, whatever. There are lots of factors that keep you from fostering, but inside your heart should not be one of them. Because I truly believe that every kind-hearted human on this planet could be a great foster parent and could give kittens the amount of love they need for a little bit and then pass them on. It's all about mindset. If you tell yourself, I could never foster because I'd keep them, if you ever fostered, you'd keep them because that's what you've been telling yourself for so long. But if you tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna foster and I'm not gonna keep them, but it's not because I don't love them, it's because I wanna keep fostering. And if you foster to adopt, that's a different situation because you are planning to adopt, but I'm not gonna go into that now. But you're closing that door on yourself by saying, I could never foster because I'd keep them. So that's not good to close a door, because if you didn't close that door, maybe you could save a ton of kittens. And again, the I love them too much really implies that I don't love them, and literally every person that has ever said something like this to me, it comes from a place of good and good intentions, and that's why I think it's the most common that people say maybe. I could never do that. I love them too much. Closing a door on yourself and hurting me because you're saying kind of that I don't love them. Like, of course I love my kittens. I love my kittens so much, but you know, that doesn't mean I can keep them. By saying these things, you're kind of missing the entire point of fostering. Just a little bit. Yeah, if you have any questions about this, I think I explained my words enough, but if you have any questions about this, make sure to let me know below. But that's gonna be it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like it and subscribe for more makeup and kitten related content. I upload on Sundays and Wednesdays if I can, and if I can't, then I upload whenever I want to. Also, please make sure to leave any thoughts or questions that you have down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching again, and goodbye!